Hey all, it's Kobe R. Rice, and I'm back again for another weekly creative update. And this particular week's podcast is going to be really chill and mellow and relaxed because that's pretty much how I'm feeling. And if you check out the title, at least at this point, let's put it this way, the podcast is entitled Love, Passion, Creativity, and Producing TV Series. Although I might change that to just love, passion, and creativity. Because this past week, I feel as though I've been getting, I don't know, just a lot of both real life signs, creative signs, career signs, and like metaphysical signs that all these things are connected together. And I'm also just like in a super kind of nirvana esque, like deep loving mood. And it's not because anything, major has been going on. It's more so because I guess recently I've been sort of reactivated and I've been reminded of how loving I can be towards myself, towards other people, towards my career, my creativity. And I've been thinking on this for the past 3 days, which is why this podcast is so late, and thinking about how self love and love for other people and love for what you do are essentially super duper intertwined. And it's also intertwined with the passion that you bring to the table for your career, for your family, for your loved ones, whatever your passion might be. It's just all meshed together. And I know that the beginning of this podcast is not making any kind of sense and is kind of sounding a little bit cray-cray. So just bear with me. But just thinking about my own particular journey, especially the one that started in about mid-2012, where I finally stopped hiding who I was as an artist. I kept trying to basically pretend that I was something that I was not. Even though, and that something at that point was a sociologist, researcher, PhD candidate. Mind, I was actually quite good at what I did in terms of being a great sociologist, being interested in the world around me, being awesome at applied statistics, and being a great teacher and things like that. I was good at those things, but that's not what I was in love with. That's not what I was passionate about. And I guess I'm just sort of coming today a bit full circle. And I know I'll come back to this place probably in like another few years when I come to like another level of understanding of myself and the universe and life. But when you walk firmly into the things that you love and you own it and you want to spend time with those things or those people or those passions that you love, you will always be happy and content. And that sort of ownership over the truth of the things that you love, ownership over the passions that you hold. And I speak now more specifically and less metaphysically about your creative career and your creativity as a person. Even if you're not an artist, you can be creative in multiple ways. But when you walk into the truth of your love and your creativity and into what it is you're truly passionate about, that is literally like an evergreen, never ending, always charged sort of internal battery that you can draw strength from and energy from and inspiration from. Having love and passion in your life, I think, and that love and passion being connected to you and not connected to another person, not necessarily connected to what's going on in the larger external world that you can't control. But when you have love and passion for yourself and what you want to do in your life, the things that really turn you on and light you up, you will very rarely be unhappy, or you will very rarely, even if you are unhappy, you'll be able to find a way to start bouncing back, even if it's not immediate. And So this is not me lecturing you guys or anyone. This is just a discovery that I made for myself recently. My capacity to, I don't even know how to say it. My capacity to harbor and generate love for my creativity, my career, myself, for other people. I have been reminded of that recently. And so it makes me feel like I'm walking on cloud nine, because there are a lot of things that can't really ever be affirmed by anybody else in the world, things that can only be affirmed by you. And that is something that has been reaffirmed for me, by sort of examining the journey that I've been on for the past 6 years, and just the journey I've been on for 2018. And even when things aren't perfect or things are going badly, I somehow am always able to find that place again of just inner love, even if the entire world, my entire world is collapsing and dark, and that evergreen love and passion is this small, I can still find my way to it. And that's very encouraging, because being a guide for yourself 24/7 can be really difficult, because it requires that you believe in yourself and in your intuition. So anyway, that was a sort of really weird way to start off this podcast. I'm in a really strange sort of mental, emotional, metaphysical space right now. And I'm still kind of working through all of the details around how I feel about that. But I did want to sort of kick off this podcast with the discussion of love, passion, and creativity, because I feel as though those are intertwined. And I will come back to that probably toward the end of the podcast to give you guys some more concrete, information and feedback, and, a podcast that doesn't sound completely foo-foo, and woo-woo all over the place. Anyway, so a couple of things. I do have a couple of announcements before I get into my weekly milestones. One is about the 2054 anthology that my colleagues and I have put together. It's being released literally almost a week and a day from today. I was gonna say almost a week, but it's exactly a week and a day from today. It will be released on Amazon oh my gosh, I just said a week from today. I'm talking about July. It will be released on Amazon on Thursday, June 14th. And so I am super excited about it. One, because we're getting a lot of really amazing, incredible feedback from our ARC team and our beta readers. And that's really exciting. And this is not to pat myself on the back, but a lot of the feedback that I'm getting about not only the order of the stories, but my particular story is really encouraging, because I said this before and I'll keep saying this again. Guys, this story that I wrote for this anthology, I was just kind of like, I don't know if this is going to be good. This feels like it kind of sucks, blah. I don't know what it's about, etc. And people are responding really well to it. And even the placement of it in our anthology apparently was a good decision. And that was not a sole decision from me, but that was a collective decision. And for all of our anthologies, we really attempted to make it a seamless anthology wherein each story stood on its own, but it was clear that they all existed in the same world of 2054. And my story, I believe, deals most directly with tying in all the stories together with each other. And because that story, in my opinion, does that very well, and it's also the last story, people found the ending to the anthology incredibly satisfying. So it just really helps me to understand, not only to not be so critical of myself and my writing, but one, that I can write more quickly and still get the same results that I've been getting with my slower writing projects. And also that we now have a viable structure for our future anthologies, and there will be future anthologies. We're actually working on the stories right now. I haven't started writing my story yet. It's in my brain, and it will be, again, the sort of, quote, pilot episode and first episode in a completely different series, most likely called the Legacy series. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. But not to get too far off into the future, it just is nice to see that people are responding very well to all aspects of the anthology. They're giving us feedback on potential typos and which stories they really, really loved and which stories they didn't really connect as well to. And it's just really nice. And it's really encouraging, and I'm really excited. Even though my face looks very kind of like, wow, like that guy from the Clear Eyes commercial, it's not. I am really excited. I'm just really mellow today. So that's going really well. The reviews are coming in. People are sending me the reviews as opposed to posting them on Goodreads, but that's okay. We'll be getting them on Goodreads and Amazon very soon, and things are looking just really well, really great right now. The reviews are coming out great. People are loving it, and I know you guys will love it too. So I will put the Amazon pre-order link at the bottom of this particular podcast and at the bottom of the video cast if you're watching this on YouTube. And so go get it. Go pre-order it and enjoy, because it's going to be amazing. And I'm just so excited to have another book coming out finally in 2018. And it makes me really amped to, finish up my other projects. Speaking of other projects, so for my last I completely got derailed with a different thought, but for my last podcast, I basically talked to you guys about the 17 or the 18 parts of a badass TV series and the things that you have to sort of develop and the steps you have to take based on what I'm personally learning from different books and different courses that I'm reading and taking all at once, and things that I'm learning by synthesizing all the information into one big fat document. And as though the universe or the gods were listening to me or listened to that podcast literally just yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes, just yesterday. I got an email because I am subscribed to filmmakingstuff.com. It's amazing. Jason Brubaker or Brubaker. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, Jason. Sorry, boo. But not that he knows me or is watching this. But Jason Brubaker basically has just released a kick-ass course, not on writing and developing TV series, but on actually producing your own TV series, meaning shooting, editing, distributing, selling, marketing, which, I mean, how perfect is that? And this is why I'm sort of in this weird metaphysical space, because it seems as though all the things I'm engaging with, all the things that I love, just all the things that I love and that I'm engaging with and that I want right now are just kind of coming into my life. And this is definitely one of them. And so as soon as my colleague and I, my writing partner and I, are done developing Pendragon and sort of tweaking it and whatever, I believe that the next stage for us personally is going to be pitching and sort of, getting our skills honed around that and meeting certain people in the industry. But then we now have an avenue, or rather a means to educate ourselves on the actual production process of a TV series. And so, I can't imagine, for me personally, I'm just thinking of all the different blog posts and video casts and things that I can just shoot and write based on what I'm learning from all of these different programs and books and courses. But everything just feels so karmically right now in terms of the avenues that are opening for my creativity, and this course in producing one's own TV series could not have come at a better time. In addition to the course, I got 2 upgrades. He offers 2 upgrades with the course. Actually, he offers 3, but I only bought 2 of the 3. He offers a shot list template upgrade, which is cheap. I think it's $17. And then he offers what he calls movie Business Pro. Let me just look at this so I'm not making things up for you guys and misleading you. Okay, come on now. He offers, let's see, I have such a long list of different courses I want to take on filmmaking and other things that sometimes things get lost. Okay. The second upgrade he offers is called Movie Plan Pro. It's basically movie business plan training. So not only does he offer you templates to focus on the technical side of shooting and producing your own TV series, not only does he offer an entire course on like selling and distributing and marketing and packaging your TV series, but then he also offers these upgrades. And Movie Plan Pro is basically about putting together a business plan for your movie or for your TV series so that you don't go into this entire process completely blind on what to do. Like, you plan out every single aspect of your shoot and of your final product, and then you put it into a business plan, and then he also teaches you how to start fundraising to make your own stuff. And so I'm just super excited. Honestly, part of me wishes that this could be my final project, my MFA thesis project, because I would basically just get up every single day and go through all of these courses, do all of the assignments, and then start the production on my first TV series, which wouldn't be as big budget, for example, as Pendragon, but it would still encapsulate or encompass a final product of, say, a final TV pilot, like a 45-minute TV pilot, along with a presentation of the entire process. But unfortunately, the MFA in Theater Arts program, with us focus on dramaturgy, which is what I'm doing, it's a dramaturgy program. It's not a filmmaking program. So there's no way to get that project approved, and I'll just have to stick with rereading Shakespeare, which, just as an FYI, I did sort of start meddling around in that particular area of my life, and I realized that I gave myself literally over 400 pages of Shakespearean plays to read, from Coriolanus, Julius Caesar, Antony and Cleopatra, and then Titus Andronicus. So, and there's some just by looking over the material that I have, just looking over the narrative structure of the actual plays and the characters that appear here, there, and everywhere, there are a lot of interesting connections between these 4 different plays that I find super fascinating. Like, Mark Antony is in Julius Caesar, and he's in Antony and Cleopatra. So I keep arguing with my professors and like the entire academy. I'm arguing the point that Shakespeare went into his process of writing the Roman history tetralogy knowing that he was going to have 4 original installments, but that all 4 of them connected together, and that he did this on purpose. Even though he wrote the plays out of order, he still had a coherent story in mind that he wanted to tell. That's my argument. And I'm not saying I found evidence to fully support that argument, but I'm finding some very interesting coincidences. Let's put it that way. So intellectually, that project is very titillating to me and exciting and kind of sexy. But if I really had my way, I would just, produce my own TV pilot with my friend. And that would be incredible. So anyways, shoulda, coulda, woulda, wishing and fishing. But I'm still happy with the way that everything is going creatively and professionally, especially now that this past semester is over with all these crazy people. As you guys know that story. But that is what was happening for TV writing this week, in addition to the fact that I've just been continuing reading pilots, analyzing pilots with my friends, writing up more and more study notes as I keep studying the TV writing process, going through the Create Your Binge-Worthy TV series course, both modules 1 and 2 that were put together and sold to me by Screenwriting U and Hal Crosman, whose courses I really, really enjoy, just FYI. And actually, after this summer of TV writing sort of nirvana is over, the next thing I'm going to tackle is the entire track, the entire academic track, quote unquote, that I have on my list for screenwriting as a whole, because I have a lot of courses that I've invested in from Screenwriting U that deal with mastering the thriller genre, writing dialogue, writing subtext, etc., etc. Plus, I have courses from masterclass.com, from Aaron Sorkin and David Mamet, and other people on screenwriting. And then, of course, I'm a huge bookworm, and I also read a lot of books on screenwriting. So the summer, it looks like for the summer, I'm going to be focusing just primarily on TV development from idea all the way to finished product. And then probably the fall semester, I'll be focusing on screenwriting all the way from the idea to the finished product. And then probably in the spring is when I'll be focusing on directing and filmmaking from idea to finished product. And, my ideal situation is that I would be taking my online directing and filmmaking classes one at a time throughout the summer, throughout the year. But again, because I'm on my deep focus thing, yay, I am really trying to focus on one major project in one major area at a time. So right now for filmmaking and screenwriting, I'm just in the TV writing mode and in that zone. And I probably won't come out of that fog until I've finished all the material, and until I've finished all the material, if not the latest, having finished Pendragon, the entire TV series Bible and pilot. And then, and for publishing, I have been working on Hollow Point. As a matter of fact, just to give you guys an update, I wrote 4,050 words this past week, which is like not, anything for me to like write home about per se, but I did set a goal for myself to write at least 500 words a day, and that actually exceeds my goal. So I'm just trying to stick to that at the least. And if I hit 3,500 words a week, I'm happy. But if I go even higher than that, that's even better. But for publishing, I've been working on Hollow Point in the writing stage, and in the editing and publishing stage, and pitching stage, there's 2054, the anthology. So for each area of my creative life, and for Rebel Ragdoll as a media vampire in progress, I'm trying to focus on one particular thing. I also wanted to really look into film editing and game design this summer, and I will still try to do that. But looking at how my time has been, I'm sort of getting a feel for what my summer schedule is like. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. And so, it's just about focusing on that one skill at a time and diving deeply with that. Anyway, so what else did I get done this week? We went through my woo-woo warm and fuzzy. We went through my writing. For the Bohemian Badass, I generated more articles for the Bohemian Badass website and blog. And when I say articles, I don't mean the actual written ones. I mean just like the article ideas and titles, etc. Which is, for me, it's good, because me creating an endless list of different blog topics to write about, that basically means that I don't have to think about what to write every single week. I can just pick a topic and write on it. So that's great. So I worked on that for the Bohemian Badass this week. I worked more on the pre-launch material, because there are a lot of things that I have to edit and update and plan for the Bohemian Badass, basically through between now and its opening on August 1st. At least that's the planned opening. And for me, what I realized is that I really need to have a solid execution plan. I like to do my research. I like to be comprehensive. Even if I'm working on my perfectionism, I do enjoy a comprehensive sort of plan for everything that I do, whether it's writing a novel, whether it's producing a film or writing a film, whether it's developing a TV series, or, whether it's directing a theater production. I believe preparation is key, and also luck favors the prepared, essentially. That's how I feel about that. So I'm doing the same thing and taking the same perspective when it comes to the Bohemian Badass. And so I really want to have all my ducks in a row before I open my business to the world. and I really hope it's going to be successful. Again, I'm in this space that's about like love, passion, creativity, and artistry, but there is, to a certain extent, a sense of nervousness when you bring your art into the world, or you bring your perspective into the world. So the Bohemian Badass will certainly put my sense of self to the test, and I'm just trying to prepare myself as much as possible to bring my A game to that table. Honestly, like this summer and this year and beyond this is, for me, all about bringing my A game as much as possible. Bringing my love, passion, and creativity game, obviously, but also my A game to everything that I'm doing, and to try my best even if it's not perfect. So that's what I'm aiming for. Okay. I told you guys about TV writing already. I'm just like, loving it. I am also sort of in the middle of reading right now 3 different books, which again is messing with my deep focus. So what I did is that I just put the books in order as to like which ones I wanted to finish. But and this is a part of my creative uni, but I'm still writing the pilot, creating the series. I'm actually halfway through that. I started reading How to Write Nonfiction by Joanna Penn, and then The Writer's Advantage, a writer's toolkit for mastering your genre by Laurie Shear. And it's so hard because each of these books are just like in my spirit, in my head, and I want to finish them all. But I'm trying to maintain my focus and finish the first book first and then the next. But those are the 3 books that are sort of in circulation right now. And I'm excited to kind of finally get back into my Goodreads reviewing process, where every time I close the chapter on a book, I need to write a review and post it, because, I think it's important to participate in the reader community and to also communicate to other people how great these books and resources are. Speaking of resources, just to go back to the TV producing series for 1 second, I have a link below to Jason Brubaker's course on that. It is an affiliate link, FYI, so I do get a small percentage back if you decide to buy his course through my link, through anything you click on my website with the link in it. And you are not, it actually comes at no extra charge to you. Like the package that I bought, for example, with the 2 upgrades was $71 in total. If you were to buy the same package through my link, you would still pay the same price, but I would get like just 10% of that 71. So it's at no extra charge to you. But basically, one of the perks of blogging and having eyes on your content is that people get to click through and enjoy the same things that you're enjoying, the same things that you love, the same things that you really believe in and you really cape for, but that you're also sort of getting, your compensation for marketing that person's product and being active in that part of the community. So I hope you guys don't find it to be slimy, because I actually just fully disclosed that to you, but this is how bloggers kind of sort of make their living. And I do genuinely believe in Brubaker's course. I've been subscribed to his website and his blog and his updates and his podcast for a very long time, and I've actually kind of been waiting for him to release more paid content, but he just kind of hasn't done it, or I haven't seen as much from him. But the high quality content he puts out on his blog and his podcast has really helped to build a lot of trust in his brand and in his expertise. And so I'm caping for Jason Brubaker, as well as Alex Ferrari with his Indie Film Hustle podcast and all the offerings that he has on his website. So, those are sort of like my role models in terms of film business blogging and bloggers. Aside from like the big ones like nofilmschool.com, etc. So check that out as soon as you can. And that's actually pretty much the end of my updates for the week. I pretty much gave you guys a rundown of everything else. And just to kind of keep this short and sweet, but also to close on the theme, I feel like you can see like little hearts floating around and above my head. I'm just like so at peace right now. Bring yourself into your passion. Bring yourself into the love you have for your work, your creativity, for other people in your life. Bring yourself into your creativity and own it. All these 3 things are connected. Whether you are loving someone in a platonic, familial, or romantic sense, that trickles down and feeds through everything that you do, even professionally, even creatively. When you're in love with the creative side of your life, that feeds through and trickles down into the other parts of your life and informs the ways in which you are loving towards your creativity, towards yourself, and towards other people. When you're passionate about something and you're engaged in a creative endeavor or career or process that you're just fired up about, that you're passionate about, that you're turned on about, that also translates into the other areas of your life. Self-love, passion for self, and creativity within yourself. Just being loving of yourself and within yourself and following your passion and creativity, those go a really, really long way in terms of helping you to find balance in the other areas of your life. And that's really all I have to say. I don't know if I really got my message across about love, passion, and creativity. Sorry for the background noise. That's my air conditioner. It's really hot in Arizona, so I need it. But I'm not sure if I really made my point, or if I even made any sense. But this is sort of just me speaking off of my heart without thinking too much about how to concretely and perfectly organize all my thoughts. So if this was a bit rambly, I'm sorry, booze, but I'm in a really interesting place right now, I guess. And so it's a good place. It's a very peaceful, happy, rested, just wonderful place right now. And I'm just trying to take that sort of cloud nine a sort of lazy energy and just make sure that I'm still applying all of that calmness and passion to the actual work that I have to do this week. And yeah, that's me. Self-care, self-love, and also feeding my physical self properly, treating my physical self with respect and with love, honoring my body, my physical body, with the improvements that I've made to my self-care and my health have also gone a super long way to just the way that I feel every day, the way that I view myself, the way that I interpret myself, and just the way that I give gratitude to my body for being able to do all of these wonderful things. And so that has been a really great boon to my love, passion, and creativity journey, as well as the development of a deeper spiritual practice. So all the things I've been talking about for the past, say, 5 months, especially when I started off the year talking about me wanting to develop better health, better care, and better spirituality, all the things and the benefits that I knew were going to come with the improvement in these areas of my life came. They are here, and I'm sort of feeling it right now. I'm loving it right now. And I want everybody to be in this place. I'm not someone who has a crap ton of money. I'm not rich. I'm not really powerful externally, in the world, in terms of politically powerful or financially powerful. But I feel very personally powerful, creatively powerful, spiritually powerful in myself and over myself. And that I feel I can take pretty much anywhere I go. And feeling this way will really help you to maintain your happiness no matter how poor you are, how sick you are, how down and out you are. Just how unfortunate life is getting. And you're not always going to be in this centered place of just perfect happiness and nirvana, but at least it's a place inside of you, no matter how deep it's buried, that you can always get back to. So that's what I'm about right now, is developing and cultivating and preserving and loving that inner space of love, passion, and creativity, so that even when everything around me is dark, I can retreat into that and just let the light of my inner self fill me up and restore me. So having said all of that crazy woo-woo, mystical stuff, I will see you guys next week, hopefully with some more, some meteor updates, more updates, we'll see what happens. Like I said, deep focus is deep. It's not wide focus, it's deep focus. So, if I don't come back with more than 3 major updates, don't kill me. But love yourself, love other people, treat people the way you want to be treated, treat yourself the way you want to be treated, treat your creativity the way you would want it to be treated by other people. And while you're doing that, stay creative, stay badass, keep it indie, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Mwah. Bye.